Hey guys, so today you and I are going to talk about getting a sensation and not knowing if people know how software works. So let's get into it. So the question in question was, Frederick, have you ever been in a situation where you felt like your stakeholder doesn't actually know how software works? And the short answer is yes. Yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that, and the day before that. Let me explain. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but what happens in the computer is magic to the vast majority of the population. Literally magic. They have no idea how it works. None. You have no idea. I will tell you that every single business-oriented person or non-technical person that I've ever worked with in IT have said basically the same thing. When they first started getting into IT and started selling software or being part of software delivery in some fashion, they literally thought that coding or building features, that was this it's like a days of work to build something, like Facebook, or maybe a week, maybe that. And I'm talking not about someone who's working in some niched fashion. I'm talking about everybody. My CEO thought that as well. Like when they founded the company, like all of the people, like no exclusions whatsoever. I have never met a non-engineer, a non-technical person who understood how it's possible that a small app on your phone can be worth like tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. They have no concept whatsoever how complicated this is. And this is, honest to God, one of the hardest things, the most frustrating parts about being a software developer. You're faced constantly with this challenge where you, as the technical expert, you have to bridge all of this. You have to be the liaison, like the communicator, the mediator between a technical world with limitations and considerations and all of this stuff, and people who have no knowledge whatsoever how any of this works. And this is that thing that I've been saying a few times where this is where the truly talented super developers will make themselves shown, and where the code monkeys will stay for the rest of their life, or at least the rest of their career. Because if you don't understand that you are just a proxy, that you are just a formality, because if there was a solution, like, I don't know, a magical remote control or something like that, this is probably a good analogy. Think about how your phone works these days. Well, you have your phone, you dial in some numbers, and you are taken kind of just magically to most likely the person that you wanted to talk to. But it used to be the case that you had phone operators who sat there and just plugged everybody in. They took the call, said, oh, who do you want to talk to? Oh, you want to talk with that person, and then you plug that person in. And that's what you are as a programmer. That's your entire function. That's all you are. The only reason you exist is because the people who have a business idea or the people who want to build something, they have no idea how to do that. And they don't have the time, they don't have the skills, whatever. And they're paying you to basically convert all their thoughts and their ideas into working code. That is what they're paying you for. Just like a contractor, just like anybody. That's all you are. So your job, in a sense, is to figure out how to do that as well as possible. Some developers, they get caught up in this idea that, oh, no, my job is just about writing really, really great code. Well, no, it's not. Because if it was just about that, then we would need another person in front of you that can speak with business people and then convert whatever they want into something that you understand and can actually build. And honest to God, I'm not gonna lie, there are companies where this is happening. Usually this is supposed to be like a PO or a tech lead or something like that. And I can just tell you that the industry has understood this from quite some time ago now, that this may work to a point, but you are the person who's building everything. And you still need to have some level of soft skills so that you can actually communicate effectively with people, because it becomes a game of Chinese whispers otherwise, where person like the stakeholder says one thing and then the PO or the tech lead, they kind of interpret that in one way and then they tell you, and then there's a third set of like discussions. And now if you're going to go back and forth with questions, also that quite a lot of information is going to be lost in communication, and that's not the greatest thing in the world. So I'm not saying that you as a developer, that you need to have some, I don't know, overly social side where you take responsibility for every part of the delivering process. But you should learn, and you have to basically understand that you are the one who is the expert, and you are the one who's going to have communication skills that are good enough so that you can relay, like be a little bit of a teacher, a little bit of a mentor type of character to in a way that feels comprehensible to non-technical people. Explain that, all right, so these are your options. And if you go with option A, this is what's going to happen. If you go with option B, this is what's going to happen. And if you go with option C, this is what's going to happen. If you ask me, I think that option B is probably the good solution here because of these reasons. And then you try to give them as much as a comprehensible set of solutions, and you talk it through with them. I mean, this is no different from being an advisor to, say, the president or something like that. It's the same thing. There's no way that one person can know everything that's going on. That's why you have an advisor, and you are, in many cases, like you're an advisor that needs to execute on something. So what I want you to take away from this is that there is no one, I have never met a person that like a non-technical engineering person that I didn't have any idea of what I'm doing. I mean, honest to God, guys, if someone gives you a set of requirements, they may not know that, oh, this little tiny box here with that number that shows something special, that just by adding that there, they delayed their delivery speed by several weeks. They have no idea. They may not understand that. But if you tell them that, you know what, if we just cut out this little box here, if this isn't really important, we might save several weeks. They're probably going to be very thankful for you because they don't know. They don't understand how it works. You're the expert. You're supposed to be the programmer. And I'm sorry to say that the days where you can just sit in your own little world and just code away without ever having to talk to anybody is kind of over. It's not, I mean, you can still sort of do it, but it's to the point where the norm is that companies consider social skills to be very, very important because of the situation I was explaining, the Chinese whispers problem. If you don't have a holistic understanding of the software that you are building and the communication skills to talk to stakeholders and understand that you need to help them understand the choices that they are making and the impact, and give them tips and tricks and stuff of this nature to improve the results that they're looking for, well, then you're not going to be a very efficient software developer. And that's what it comes down to. You need to be both the technical expert and at least a decent communicator when you're dealing with stakeholders. Because at the end of the day, all you are to them is a phone operator. That's all you are. You're just taking their requirements and creating a reality out of that. Have a great day.